the towel over the arm and the drinks and so forth for the batsmen. They're all refreshed and new gloves. But Adam Voges was talking to Jason Roy and said, look, what do you think? You can go now. You could see him definitely say, you can go now. He said, no, we'll just wait a little bit. So it's going to be an interesting scenario when they do. I think the Scorchers like to take it earlier rather than later.
There's a young man doing some very sharp dancing in the crowd who's up on the big screen at the minute and just loving having the camera on him. Well done. He's enjoying his day, as I'm sure everyone is at the MCG. So we're about to get back underway, and it'll be Nathan Coulter-Nile back into the attack. 8 off his first over, and one that struck Liam Livingstone in the last place that any bloke wants to be struck. And he's in bowling to Roy, who's on 53. 1 for 85. Oh, look at that late play. Took the rising ball and ran it down to third man, just a single. Yeah, he seems very, very comfortable at the crease, Jason Roy.
Absolutely. And it was a good ball, so Coulter-Nile bowled a ripping ball, but he's just able to play that away. And yeah, the Stars, they just need to keep hanging in there. They're hanging tough now. 85, 86 will be their target for a bash boost point, and as we said earlier, they need to gather all the points they can to track down the Scorchers. They are 4 points behind them. In 4th spot, the Scorchers in 2nd.
Coulter-Nile to Munro. He's turning one fine on the leg side. Fine leg will keep that to 1. Just having a look down on the boundary for TAC. Don't let your luck run out, TAC. Dave Hussey doing some media work with the broadcaster. He's opted for the visor.
He has.
And no one's hit more sixes at this ground than Dave Hussey. There's a Dulux stat. Professional painters choose Dulux.
He's going with the real Sean Payton. Do you know who that is?
I do, the New Orleans Saints
New Orleans Saints, the visor. Yep. He's looking for that look.
Is it actually a visor, or has he cut the top off a hat? I just wanted to check that. Oh, down the ground. Now, this has gone very high. Maxwell's going to come around here. Will he get to it?
He does.
Coming back with the flight, the big show, the big moment, the big wicket. Roy gone for 54 and Coulter-Nile strikes.
That's a huge wicket. Glenn Maxwell, what a genius. There's value for you. Forget about the runs and bowling. Just being able to take that. He's at mid-off, who was up inside the circle. It was taken on by Roy. He's run back and taken that at long off. He's an absolute star in the field. He tracked it all the way, and the soft hands in the end, just inside the rope. He breathed a big sigh of relief once he did grasp hold of it. They can be really difficult. Your head bobbling around. You're looking over your shoulder as the ball's high in the air. Superb hands, superb fielding, great bowling. This is what they need. Bang, bang. Great in 2 overs.
Bryce McGain for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money overseas with their app, and the big wicket of Jason Roy, who was looking in ominous form. He's out. And they lose their 2nd wicket for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au. Roy gone for 54 of 32 deliveries, 7 boundaries and 1 6 in his innings. And that brings Josh Inglis to the crease. Number 95 for the Scorchers.
And he's been a real busy player. Now, there is a hold up here. I think they want to have a look for the front foot.
Oh,
now. No ball.
So the third umpire comes into play. Catch bizcover.com.au and BizSave on your business insurance.
What are they actually looking at?
I'm not sure.
Well, that vision's not showing us a no ball. We're watching the ball in flight.
The value of Nathan Coulter-Nile, his 10th wicket, and this is only his 5th BBL game this year. What an inclusion he is with the finals just around the corner.
Not sure what the delay is here.
Maybe I've got no idea.
Maybe they just haven't got the vision of the no ball, the side on. They're probably asking for it, the third umpire. And no one's been forthcoming to actually check that front foot no ball.
So, as we take some time...
He hasn't left the field yet. Roy is still on the field as new batsman Inglis. You mentioned he was out there. He's out in the middle.
Roy steps over the boundary now.
And they are looking for the no ball. I just don't think they've got vision of it.
Oh, this is a bit embarrassing.
And it now signalled out.
So now signalled out, but we still didn't see the replay for Rapid Will Keep You Moving. So we haven't seen a replay of the front foot. third umpire took a long time. Catchbizcover.com.au and BizSave on your business insurance, but we didn't actually see what they were actually looking at. It certainly wasn't anything to do with a ball above waist high.
One roll and strike.
Nathan Coulter-Nile right arm over to the left-hander, who's just turning it behind square leg. Deep square leg will come, and they think about two, but think better of it, and it's just one. So 2 for 88 now with 2 balls to come in the 11th over. So the Brisbane Heat's win over the Renegade today, Bryce McGain, does leapfrog them from 7th into 4th. So they're on 25 points. They're 1 point clear of the Stars, who are now in 5th. The Scorchers sit 2nd, 4 points behind the Sixers. So all 4 points tonight will see them with a superior net run rate go to the top of the BBL table. Thunder sit 3rd, a point behind the Scorchers at the moment.
Do you remember the game as a kid, Snakes and Ladders?
Oh,
that's what's going on.
Absolutely. Coulter-Nile to Inglis. First ball he's facing is a short ball, and he's latching onto it, running it down to fine legs. Zahir Khan will collect and return, and they get one. So Inglis off the mark.
Well, they're fighting fire with fire there. Coulter-Nile, WA teammate, Josh Ingles.
Absolutely.
And he's a great puller of the ball, Inglis, and they've gone straight to it. They've got 2 back, fine leg and deep backward square leg, and he's gone to his strength to see how he is first up, and he did help it on its way. He is a really strong square of the wicket player, particularly on the pull and the cut.
Munro 3 to run a ball. Now going around the wicket is Coulter-Nile. There is a mid-wicket in place now.
There's an over for you.
And that is the end of a very, very good over. Just 4 runs coming from it, and the big breakthrough. Jason Roy out for 54. Now, a couple of new batsmen at the crease. When will they take that power surge for tyre power? We'll find out. Inglis on 1, Munro on 3 after 11. Scorchers 2 for 89.
Red Energy is 100% owned by the mighty Snowy Hydro, and that makes us as Aussie as a barbie at Eastern Beach. We're based right here in Victoria and have been providing electricity and gas to tens of thousands of homes in Geelong for years. So if you want an energy company that's 100% Australian owned, supports Aussie jobs and is committed to supporting the economy, call our Victorian-based contact centre on 131 806 to make the switch today.
So after taking the brilliant catch, running back with the fly to the ball to dismiss Jason Roy, the skipper Glenn Maxwell brings himself on from the southern stand end at the MCG, and they'll get a single through mid-wicket off the first ball of Maxwell's over. 2 for 90 now. So last 2 overs have gone for 4 and 6 respectively. So just 10 runs off the last 2, and they've lost 2 big wickets. The openers who put on 83, Livingston going first. He was caught off the bowling of Zahir Khan by Nick Maddinson, and then the very next over, Roy has caught Maxwell bowled Coulter-Nile. So now the job for Inglis on 2, and Munro's on strike now. The left-hander, and he's just driven it just shy, just past Coulter-Nile at a sort of wide cover, wide mid-off. It was in the air at about eye level of Coulter-Nile, but it was past him too quickly. Let's have a look at this on the replay for Rapitude. How close did this go? It would have taken a fair dive. Inglis on strike.
He's quick. Look out.
He looks for 2 through square leg, but they'll settle for 1.
He is lightning quick between the wickets. I reckon that's a test that I want to see of all the Big Bash players. Who's the fastest? Who can run a 3 faster than anyone?
This is a great idea, Bryce McGain. The AFL Grand Final has the sprint every year. Let's get the running between wickets contest. That's gone straight this time past Coulter-Nile, but along the ground. It was in the air a while. And they get another single.
Wrong man in the wrong spot. Coulter-Nile shouldn't be there. Get your best box man fielder. Maybe your best man is bowling the ball, so he can't be everywhere at once. But they shouldn't they? Have those little tests
with the stopwatch.
Yeah, the laser.
Maxwell to Inglis again, turning it through square leg, and now look at Inglis take off. He wants 2, sent back.
Yeah, Roy.
Munro with a cooler head.
Sorry, Munro. Yeah.
How about that return too from Hinchcliffe?
He's rapid fast too. This is a great matchup. Inglis is looking to pick into the gaps and push and get 2. Munro's a bit more subdued. Interesting field here. They've got a short backward point, but then they've got 2 in the cover area, catching cover, and then one back on the ring.
Munro on 5. Maxwell, right arm around.
Oh, Maxwell.
Yes, just heard a little bit from Gotch behind the stumps as there's a single to long on.
Tidy over.
It was just 6 runs coming from it in the end. Munro's on 6, Inglis on 4. Just applying the handbrake here at the moment, the Scorchers. The Stars, 2 for 95, the Scorchers after 12.
It's Matt McKeldin.
And I'm Steve Johnson.
And we're the hosts of The Driver's Seat, Australia's #1 motorsport radio show.
Each week we go through all the big news stories and chat to some of the biggest names in supercars.
Here with Mark Winterbottom.
We're pumped, ready to go.
Davey Reynolds here.
We've got a Sonic the Hedgehog phone cover.
Jamie Whincup, welcome back to The Driver's Seat.
Feels good to be back.
Plus, you can catch up and get all the exclusive interviews first on the Driver's Seat app.
Get radio's #1 motorsport show on your smartphone. Thanks to Kubota, building Australia.
Young William Stanlake into the attack now. None for 6 in his 2 overs. Obviously hasn't taken a wicket, but he's been very tight and tidy. And he's bowling to the left-hander. Munro, who takes him down the ground. A little skip down the pitch. And he sends Stanlake back on his way into the boundary. For TAC, don't let your luck run out.
How bold is he? To Big Billy, he just comes down the wicket and picks him up over mid-on and mid-off, which are up inside the circle. He must have known it was going to be back of a length delivery, but just backed himself in. He knows they haven't got enough. They've had 3 overs without a boundary. He's just pushing on.
No X-Factor players deployed in this game, and that's through Munro. Trying to pull, not connecting. Dot ball. 2 for 99 now. The Scorchers after being sent in by the Stars. So I don't have an official crowd number just yet, but once we do, we'll let you know. But a healthy crowd in.
It's got to be the maximum.
You reckon it's?
Yeah, I'm sure
it's 15?
it's 15. Yeah. Everyone's spaced out, so good spacing in here at the MCG.
Stanlake to Munro, forcing him back onto the stumps and just prodding it into the offside for no run.
So I'd hate to encourage you to come down. There's tons of vacant seats, of course, 100,000 seats here, so only 15,000. So we'd hate to encourage you to come down. Maybe just sit tight, keep us on wherever you're tuned in.
Yes.
You're sitting in the car, you can sit in there for the rest of the night, at home, whatever you're doing. Actually, we'd be interested. What are you up to? Where are you listening to Big Bash Nation tonight?
And we also want your nominations because we're almost at the completion of this season. Who's a smoky for not only the Australian T20 side, but maybe for an IPL contract as well? Start getting your nominations through. Chopping down on one late is Munro. And there is a backward point in, but they were through quickly. And the 100's up inside the 13th over. So that run rate now was going at 10 and over. They were none for 42 after 4. The power play was very fruitful for the Scorchers. Tyre Power's big holiday sale. But ever since then, it's just slowed. So they got those 2 double-figure overs, 19 in the 3rd and 11 in the 4th. Haven't had a double-figure over since. The run rate now is below 8.
Yeah, the Stars have hung tough. They've used 7 bowlers, so they have options to mix things up so the batsmen don't get settled.
Stanlake to Inglis on 4, and he's pulling one. He's getting a little edge that just spooned up. Down to fine leg. Gotch ran a long way to try and get that. Hinchcliffe backs up at the striker's end and they get 1.
Or extra bounce and pace there. That's high up on the stickers and maybe on the gloves and the handle, and just nursed around just to the 45 area. Fine leg is back, of course, and extra pace and bounce of Big Billy.
Oh, man's been caught taking a selfie on the big screen. Still doesn't realise that that moment's been captured not only by himself, but the camera's here. Driving at 1 and missing altogether is Munro. Just hangs the head back. He's resting on the bat. The end of the Stanlake over. A little bit more expensive, that one, but still only the 6 runs coming from it. After 13, good fight back on the cards here from the Stars. Scorchers are 2 for 101.
Hi, it's Doug the Tradie. If you're a tradie like me, you need the correct insurance. It's easy with IMAR. They offer competitive premiums, instant cover and no paperwork. Go online, get an instant quote and pay the premium, or call an expert now on 13IMAR. You'll be covered in a few simple steps and ready to get on with the job. Visit imar.com.au today or call 13IMAR and get a quote, get covered, get working.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
Zahir Khan to bowl his 4th and final over. Just remeasuring his run-up. 2 for 101, the Scorchers. Handbrake being applied to them by the Stars. Enjoying the cricket tonight at the ground. Absolutely perfect evening. That's from Tim in Mount Waverley listening to us whilst at the G. Trying to late cut is Inglis and missing completely through him by Khan.
That's Tim at the MCG rather than Tim from Mount Waverley.
Yes. Good calling, fellas. Out walking with the missus. That's from Jeff in Newcastle.
That's the way to do it. Take the dog for a walk and tune into Big Bash Nation.
Khan to Inglis. That's a fuller ball. He's been able to drive that through cover. But there is a sweeper out in the deep. And they only get the 1. So he moves to 6.
Not necessarily that he was taking his wife. I've done that again. I've just not even thought. But I'm saying, suggesting people take the dog out for a walk. It's a beautiful evening.
Yes.
All around the country. Beautiful weather everywhere. Take the dog out. Have a listen to the cricket. The dog's happy.
It would seem that the conversation might not be flowing, though, if he's got us in the area.
Yeah.
Not a lot of chat.
Yeah. It just keeps up. What was that? Oh, I'm guilty of that a fair bit. Selective hearing, it's called.
So Khan got the wicket of Livingston in the 10th over, and he's in now bowling to Munro off 11 off 12. Now there's the reverse.
But it is blocked
Sweep.
off. Good field placings. That's smart because they know he's good at it. They have a deep backward point.
Cartwright keeps it to 1. So 6 off the last, 6 before that, 4, 6, 9, 9. So ever since the 10th over, they've really pulled, isn't it? They have. They've pulled the rein really tightly, the Stars.
Good by the Stars.
2 for 103. Munro gets a fuller 1. It'll go over cover on the bounce. Sliding in to get it before it gets to the rope is Nick Maddinson, and they get 2. Inglis moves to 8 at a runner ball. Munro 12 off 13. 2 for 105, the Scorchers.
Need to hold strong with this over. It's a good one so far. 4 balls, 4 runs. Maxwell having a good chat, putting his arm around Zahir Khan. And this is smart. What good leadership this is. Just to slow him down, have a breather. If you're rushing, don't panic. Just calm down. And he's probably just done it just to slow him down. Not for any field change. No one's moved. Terrific leadership, Glenn Maxwell.
Khan to the right-hander, Inglis, who's just advancing and working it through mid-wicket. There's just a single there. And again, this is one of the things that we spoke about with Pickers last night about the possibility of Glenn Maxwell, and has admitted that he thinks his chances of ever making the Test side again are done and dusted. But maybe in the past the criticism was that he was a little bit focused on his own stuff and his outer awareness might not have been what they wanted. But now he captains the Stars, and his game awareness and his thoughts for others. Again, reversing is Munro. That's in the air a long way, and it'll just bounce inside the rope. Took on Khan, the big reverse to finish the over. It went through mid-wicket.
That's extraordinary.
A boundary for TAC. Don't let your luck run out, TAC. He's now 16 off 14. Inglis 9 at a runner ball. They needed that boundary after 14. They're 2 for 110, the Scorchers.
Hey, it's Matt McKeldin.
And I'm Steve Johnson.
And we're the hosts of The Driver's Seat, Australia's #1 motorsport radio show.
Each week we go through all the big news stories and chat to some of the biggest names in supercars.
Here with Mark Winterbottom.
We're pumped, ready to go.
Davey Reynolds here.
We've got a Sonic the Hedgehog phone cover.
Jamie Wincup. Welcome back to The Driver's Seat.
Feels good. Feels good to be back.
Plus, you can catch up and get all the exclusive interviews first on the Driver's Seat app.
Get radio's #1 motorsport show on your smartphone. Thanks to Kubota, building Australia.
So Zahir Khan finishes his 4-over spell. He took the big wicket of Livingston, 1 for 31. His figures for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux. So the crowd are up and about here, aren't they? Music pumping around the MCG. The Stars right back in this one. The Scorchers got off to a really fast start. 2 for 110. Power surge called. Wax on, wax off. That was vigorous. Wasn't it? That's exactly the word I was looking for. Vigorous from the umpire. If that was a windmill, you'd say it was out of control. Zampa in. Inglis down the ground. Catch at the cry, but it'll land safely to the right-hand side of the man at mid-wicket, which was Stoinis. And they get a couple. So Inglis to 11 off 10. 2 for 112.
It's a fever pitch atmosphere here at the MCG. They really got worked up in that over.
It's wonderful.
They're seeing the Stars fight back into this one. Making a hostile environment for the Scorchers. The ground announcer, Pete Laser's got them into a frenzy at the moment.
Well, that's the job, isn't it? Get them up off their seats. Zampa Can he get him up? None for 30. His figures. Inside out. That's gone aerially over cover from Munro. Getting around.
Well, he has.
Does Madison get it? He does. Diving into the rope, slapping it forward before he hit it. Hinchcliffe there in support, so the Mustaked men assist each other, working in tandem.
Tandem cookie dusters.
And Munro got a couple.
Sorry, mate.
No, that's good. I like it. Look at this on the replay for Rapid Tune.
Superb
Brilliant
beauty.
for Madison.
We've seen some awesome stuff here, haven't we?
Full seal dive it was.
Well, he's pulled off a couple of outstanding catches, stops.
Just take us through how big a team lifters those things are when you're out in the field.
Oh, it's what matters. And this power surge, this is where the game is going to get won and lost. It can get set up big time for the Scorchers, but the Stars have hung tough in this. They're off to a bit of a flyer, and they've just fought back over by over. They're going to their best spinner here in Adam Zampa in the surge.
Power surge for Tyre Power, big holiday sale. Munro gone on strike, and he's defending respectfully. That Zampa delivery back to him. No run.
5 in the ring on the offside. 45 and a backward square leg. And the other two fielders who are out, deep wide long on and deep mid-wicket. The cow corner for the lefty to the right arm leg spinner.
2 for 115. Munro, that was a fuller ball. Tried to take it on the half volley. They get the single, goes straight to Stoinis at cover, and they take on his arm, and that's well run.
It is great stuff. Encouragement behind the stumps, Seb Gotch. It is great stuff by Zorb Zampa. And if for those, I've never written so many Zs in my notebook. I can tell you, with Zahir Khan and Zampa, who are bowling plenty of overs, good for cricket Scrabble if you're at a loose end at home.
Oh, Zorb, brilliant.
Just advancing and whipping one through mid-wicket is Inglis, and they'll settle for one there. Mid-wicket is back on the fence, but they're not bustling through, so just the one. 2 for 117. Munro on 17. One ball left to come in this 15th over, so Stars have done well to just halt. It was raining runs. That run rate at 7.89 for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux. Zampa right arm over to left-handed Munro. Straight back past him, the drive. But there's a fielder in the circle. Throw at the stump from Maxwell, and I'd love to see a replay because I wonder if Munro would have been home safe. It matters not because Maxwell couldn't throw down the stump, so they get a single.
Great over.
8 off that over in the end. After 15, 5 to go. 2 for 118, the Scorchers.
Red Energy is 100% owned by the mighty Snowy Hydro, and that makes us as Aussie as a barbie at Eastern Beach. We're based right here in Victoria and have been providing electricity and gas to tens of thousands of homes in Geelong for years. So if you want an energy company that's 100% Australian owned, supports Aussie jobs and is committed to supporting the economy, call our Victorian-based contact centre on 131 806 to make the switch today.
2 for 118, the Scorchers. 8 off that first power surge over for Tyre Power. Know your tyres.
What about Lee? How he's going about things here. Got his hands full. He's got the headset on. Bourbon in left hand, fishing right in the right.
Cool tonight from the southern stand end. He's bowling to Munro, who's pulling behind square. Just a single.
And clever bowling too. The field set with that deep backward square leg and deep forward square leg. The slower ball at his pads. Just drags it round there, gets him off strike. They don't want to bowl too many balls to Munro here. He can be devastating in this. So far, they've done really well. That's 9 of 7 balls of the power surge. Only 5 balls remain. They're doing a great job here, the Stars.
So I think they average, just from memory, so don't quote me, it's around 23 that the Scorchers average for their power surge for Tyre Power. Big holiday sale.
Well, they've got firepower everywhere. They're all hitters.
Yep.
So doesn't surprise me one bit.
I wonder if they'll rejig the batting order. Marsh to come, Turner as well. So there's big hitting there, and there's some big hitting. Oh, that's some very, very big hitting over the rope from Inglis. A 6 over square leg, and didn't they need that?
That's a huge hit. That's every bit 90 metres. He's hit it to the biggest boundary here at the MCG, and he's got it all the way.
That might have been a goal if the goalpost was still up.
Straight over the umpire's hat.
Straight over it. So Coulton Isle now to Inglis, who moves to 21. Oh, he wanted the ramp. He stepped away into the offside. Didn't get any on it. It's called a wide. Put down by Gotch. Umpire in the Michael Jordan pose. And I'll get another one. 2 for 1, 2-6.
Interestingly, he's called wide there. Now, it did go down leg side, but he shimmied to go down the leg side and then step back inside.
Yeah.
So last night we saw some really odd calls of the ball being really wide outside of stump because the batsman walked over there. They weren't called wide. Oh.
Coulton Isle to Inglis, just slapping it over cover. And that's to the boundary for 4. Don't let your luck run out, TAC. 130 on the board now for the Scorchers.
Well, that was leg stump line. It was a normal speed Yorker, and he gave himself some room and went over that ring of fielders on the offside. Terrific batting.
Inglis now to 25. Coulton Isle right arm over, advancing, and then in the end pulling. So checking the shot, backward to square. They'll only get 1. He moves to 26 off 15. Munro 19 off 18 on strike. 2 for 131. So that run rate now back over 8.36. Proudly brought to you by Dulux Trade Centres. What's a par score are we thinking, Bryce McGain?
Good question. Probably in the order of that 170, 175.
Coulton Isle right arm over to left-handed. Munro,
nice. Vacant,
long on, beckons.
Shot.
And he gets every single bit of that and every possible run on offer. 6 over long on for Munro. That was cleanly struck.
Gee, they can't be denied here. They've suddenly catapulted up to 2 for 137. It's a big over. It's 19 so far, and there's a ball to go.
Question for you, Bryce McGain. Bryce, when you talk about a ball back of a length, do you mean what used to be called short of a length?
Yes.
There we go. Nicely answered. Concise. That's a pull shot behind square for Munro. Now, they went through quickly for 1, and that's all they will get. So 20 off that over. That's the best that they've been able to put together. Just their 3rd double figure over the Scorchers. 4 overs to go in their innings. After 16, they're 2 for 138.
Real adventures with Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Everything fishing, boating and outdoors.
But for most people, fishing is it's a pastime, mate. I'm going to go out for a fish. I just need to relax a bit. You get to relax every day. You've got the easiest job in the world.
Don't you just run around an oval and kick a ball?
Off the side of your beat sometimes.
it's a love-hate relationship, to tell you the honest truth.
Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Subscribe and listen today wherever you get your podcasts.
So well done to Paul off the text, who predicted that the Scorchers would take the power surge in the 15th over. They did. They got 8 off the first and 20 off the second. So 28 from those 2 overs. That's a big tick for the Scorchers.
It is indeed.
2 for 138. The power surge for Tyre Power, your trusted tyre expert. Stoinis to bowl from the members' end. To Munro, who's 26 off 20. Stoinis right arm over to the left-hander, and that's beautifully whipped through mid-wicket at just a single. They've got 4 men on the leg side for the left-hander. He moves to 27. Inglis on 26. 2 for 139. The men out. Livingston went 24 off 29 after they'd put on 83 for the opening wicket. Him and Jason Roy. That was in the 9th over. In the 10th over. Roy went in the 11th, 54 off 32. Caught Maxwell running back with the flight off the bowling of Nathan Coulton Isle. Those wickets falling for Scott Pack. Turn unpaid invoice into cash. scottpack.com.au. They've been able to just apply the handbrake and slow that run rate down, except that last over. Now, that's gone very high. That's gone very, very high behind the stumps. Gotch comes around. He moves a long way. Had to get about 25 metres down the leg side, and he gleefully accepts the catch, the keeper. Inglis has gone for 26. 3rd wicket falls, and it's Marcus Stoinis doing the job.
26 off 16. It was a terrific cameo innings. Just got his shape a little bit wrong there. Big high leading edge. And Stoinis, well, you mentioned earlier on, Sam, and rightfully so, that he gets a wicket. He's a wicket taker. And he's done it once again. And he's got rid of the dangerous Josh Ingles. He's on his way. But it does send out more firepower. The Scorchers have got it They just keep sending them out, and they've got the captain after this as well in Turner. Then they've got Hardy. They're all hitters. Richardson can whack them as well. So they've got power hitters to wrap this one up. With 4 overs to go.
Mitch Marsh, who missed some games with that side strain injury, in 9 innings, he's averaging 38.8 this year. So it doesn't get any easier. You're right. Bryce McGain's here for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money online. Send money overseas with their app. So Stoinis gets the wicket. He's second in this BBL season. Marsh with a best of 57 this year. He's made 194 runs, 2 scores above 50. A best of 57 not out for Dulux Professional Painters. Choose Dulux. 3 for 139 in the 17th over. Stoinis to Munro because they cross off thick edge. Would have gone straight into the breadbasket of a first, maybe second slip, but there are none. So it's 4 for Colin Munro, the boundary for TAC. Don't let your luck run out. A bit of luck.
Well, he was looking to target the area, which is over mid-off. Mid-off is up inside the circle here. They've got 4 in the ring on that offside. So 2 behind point, a cover, and then a mid-off sweeper out deep on the offside. He tried to target down the ground. Stoinis back of a length. Back of a good length that the full sentence would be. Outside edge, 4 runs.
Stoinis, that was a fuller ball. Just dragging it through mid-wicket is Munro. And he gets a single, so that'll bring Marsh back on strike. 2 balls left to go in this 17th over.
Stars have got some good agile movers out patrolling the deep boundaries here.
That ball that was hit in the air by Inglis, they just put the clock on it. I saw the replay for Rapidtune. We'll keep you moving. Just under 6 seconds in the air.
It went above the stand.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. About there.
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
Get to think about all the things that can go wrong if you drop it.
Stoinis defended to mid-on, who's up by Marsh for no run. I remember I was keeping in a game A-Res for Barker's Creek, which is just near Castlemaine, near Harcourt.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit dusty, and one of those went up in the air, and I had a long time to think about it, and it fell about half a metre in front of me. I completely misjudged it with my bleary eyes, and then I fell over for good measure and suitably took myself off. That'll do.
Drag yourself.
Drag myself.
Got yourself by the collar.
Yes.
Not today, mate.
Unforgivable.
Not with that glove work.
Stoinis to Marsh again defending a single into the offside. Now there is a short cover. That's very well run to finish off the over. A wicket taker, 7 off it, but the wicket of Inglis falls. So well done, Marcus Stoinis. After 2 overs, he's 1 for 16. After 17, the Scorchers are 3 for 145.
IMAR. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. But did you know that IMAR has window cleaners covered too? Insure your window cleaning business with IMAR and receive commercial and industrial cover for 2-storey, 5-storey and no height restrictions. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13-IMAR now. That's 134627.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
Clint, who's listening to Big Bash Nation, he's working on the crane. Great commentary, guys.
Good on you, Clint.
Enjoy.
Be safe, mate. Don't get too excited with any sixes.
Yes.
Control what you're doing. High-risk stuff.
So Zampa back into the attack. He'll be bowling to Mitch Marsh, who's 1 off 2. Munro is 32 at the non-strikers end. 3 for 145. Marsh advancing. There's a vacant cover. He goes over it and through it and to it. A boundary for TAC. Don't let your luck run out.
Yeah, no chance for the sweeper out at deep cover point. That one going over cover. Good footwork by Mitch Marsh early in his innings to open up that boundary area.
149 on the board. Make that 139 still. It went a long way down the ground. Mitch Marsh takes on Zampa, finds Glenn Maxwell. Another catch for the skipper, and the 4th wicket falls, and it is a big one. Mitch Marsh gone for 5 off 4. Scott Pack, turn unpaid invoices into cash. scottpack.com.au. Zampa gets his first wicket.
And Maxwell, he just keeps taking catches. He puts himself in the hot spot, and it's good that he can do that, and they still follow his captaincy. You don't have to be inside the ring. He's the best fielder in the free world, not only for the Stars. He's the best fielder going around, and he makes sure that he's in that hot spot. He still then trots in, talks to the bowler, then he'll trot back to where he is at long on. Key wicket there.
So we know that Ashton Turner can score and score quickly.
He's an accelerator, so he comes in, he can hit boundaries straight away.
So strike rate this year, 155. He's got the 12th best in the competition.
He'll be targeting the straight boundaries here, just like Mitch Marsh was trying to do there. Miss hit, and Zampa's hard to get away. He does drift the ball, he drops the ball, cross seam. He's got all the tricks. Munro is the thorn in the Stars' side. They do need to get him out or avoid him facing any balls.
It'll be Munro to face. The batsman crossed. So Zampa right arm over to the left-handed Munro, who's back. And on the back foot working it to cover, and they still take that single. They get through crisply for one.
Good awareness by Gotch as well. Just saying easy, easy, easy. We don't need to take any risks and get Munro back on strike. We've got a new batter. We need to get some dots on him.
So the 150's up. Into the 18th over. They were none for 42 at the end of their initial 4 overs, the power play for Tyre Power. Zampa to Turner, just opening the face, and there's a single to point. You heard Seb Gotch in the stump mic. Beautiful bowl, Zorba.
He's doing, Zorba. Yeah, he's doing my role. Don't need me. I'll turn the mic off. He's got it all covered.
Yep.
I'll take a timeout.
So he's conceded 42 runs, Zampa. His economy rate's one of the best, 6th in the competition, 6.7, but he's taken some tap tonight. Just turning one backward a point. They get a single. That's really well run. No, they came back. Munro
denied.
Was sent back by Turner.
Yep. Yeah, look, he has been expensive, and the Scorchers are really the only team to go after him right from the start. He bowled his first over, which was over number 3. 4-4-6-4 in the over. 19 off his first over in the power play.
So Munro on 33. Can he get his 5th half century? Oh, that's a good way to go about it. The slog sweep over square leg and over the rope. Oh, yes, please. End of the over. 4 for 157. They got 12 off that with 2 to go. They've got 157 on the board, the Scorchers.
Real Adventures with Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Everything fishing, boating and outdoors.
But for most people, fishing is it's a pastime, mate. I'm going to go out for a fish. I just need to relax a bit. You get to relax every day. You've got the easiest job in the world.
Don't you just run around an oval and kick a ball?
Off the side, Pete, sometimes.
it's a love-hate relationship, to tell you the honest truth.
Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Subscribe and listen today wherever you get your podcasts.
Cool tonight to bowl the penultimate over in this Scorchers innings there. 4 for 157. Turner on 1, Munro 39.
From the members' end, and this has actually got Dave Hussey off his feet. He's gone down to long on to have a word to Glenn Maxwell.
Cool tonight to Turner. Late cut, thick edge. Past a diving right glove of Seb Gotch. And to the boundary for 4.
Well, wasn't far away. Just helped it on its way. Just really fine, probably a bit finer than he wanted to. Now, Hussey has gone down to have a word to the captain and share some clear information. I don't know whether Glenn Maxwell's too pumped with it, but...
Now he's having a chat to Marcus Stoinis. Cool denial to the Scorchers skipper Turner. That's a shorter ball, pulled. And there's room there. And he finds the boundary. Well placed.
Terrific batting, 4-4, and that's what he can do. He's an accelerator. Right from as soon as he gets to the crease, he can hit boundaries. They're few and far between, and that's what's found him in the Australian team, because he can do that. He can hit boundaries straight away. He doesn't take a few balls to get in and then unleash. It's a rare skill.
He's 9 off 3 now for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux. Cool denial, figures of 1 for 40. He's bowling to Turner again. That was a bit slower. He waited on it. And back foot, he's driving through cover. And they come back for 2. Or has to stretch. Gets home. Well run. And he was labouring a bit there, Turner, in the return to the striker's end.
For a big fella, he's pretty quick and coordinated, and he caught it up with those big strides. So
that run rate now, Bryce, is 9.11 again, so possible total of 182. Coulton Isle, right arm over to Turner, and he's getting the Yorker ball, which he's able to dig out and able to get a single to mid-wicket. So,
yeah, a wicket now for the Stars puts a dent in that acceleration towards the end. Obviously, it's a dot ball for the wicket, but provided they don't cross for a high ball, that they then get the new batsman on strike, so it's hard to then really hit a boundary off that next ball. So it's a double whammy getting a wicket. So Coulton Isle will be striving for that. Munro on strike.
Their average score against the Stars, by the way, for the Scorchers is 137, so they're absolutely above there. And that's a slashing shot, a big edge. It flew up in the air, square on the offside, Munro, and it lands safely. They get 2. So taking the risk is Munro. He moves to 41 off 27, 170 now on the board for the Scorchers. 1 ball to come in the second last over. Munro on strike.
And the Stars have done pretty well. They've starved Munro a strike. Only 27 balls faced in the time that he's been at the crease.
He's making the most of them. Coulton Isle down to Munro, reversing.
Oh,
gets it past
awesome.
short fine leg and gets it to the rope. What a shot that was. 4 to finish off the over. And that was a big, big over for the Scorchers. They get to 174 with 1 over to go.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
17 off that last over from Nathan Coulton Isle. Munro moves to 45. It'll be Ashton Turner, the Scorchers skipper, to face the first ball of the last over. Billy Stanley to bowl it. 4 for 174. The Scorchers sent in by the Stars. Stanley to Turner. That's a bit shorter. He's advancing Turner. He's pulling. There is a man at deep mid-wicket. And they just get 1, but that brings Munro on strike, eyeing off his 5th half-century in this BBL season. And he's scored over 400 runs in the year.
Turner's a perfect player in this scenario. 13 off 6 balls, so he can hit boundaries. He gets up the other end. He'll run hard now for Munro. He'll want Munro to take all last 5 balls.
Third on the run scorer's table. Munro almost picked the gap. There was a backward point and third man up, but on the bounce it goes to Coulton Isle at that backward point position. They get 1. Turner back on strike. 46 now for Munro. He's been a great pickup for the Scorchers. Stanley to Turner, and just flailing at one outside off was a shorter ball. It'll land safely over Point's head. The sweeper comes around and they get back for 2. So 29 off the combined 18th and 19th overs, Bryce.
Yep.
178 on the board. So they'll get over 180, you'd think.
Yeah. Big Billy's doing a great job. None for 16 with just 3 balls to go in his 4 overs.
He charges in, and that's a difficult length to deal with. He's just backing away and he gets a single to cover Turner.
2 balls to go, none for 17. He's been superb tonight without getting the reward of a wicket.
Well, it's funny because Nathan Coulton Isle has gone for over 10 and over, so too Adam Zampa, and they've got the 2nd and 6th best economy rates for the year. And a man that normally goes at almost 9, Stanley, is going for much less. And that almost chopping on is Munro. Stanley can't believe it. went for the big pull shot. They run a leg by. Unlucky again, big bad bustling Billy. So last ball of this Scorchers innings, 180 on the board. The bash boost point will be 86 for the Stars. But what will the full total be? Short ball spanked by Turner as he picked the gap through mid-wicket and long on no. Maxwell keeps it to 2 with a rocket back to the striker's end. So 182 the score set. Scorchers eyeing off first position on the BBL ladder. The Stars currently in 5th after the Heat went to 4th after their win over the Renegades today. So 183 needed for the Stars to win. 4 for 182 the Scorchers after their 20 overs. We'll dissect it all on the other side of this on Big Bash Nation.
The SEN Track Podcast. Catch up on all your favourite shows or any interviews you might have missed by subscribing to SEN Track on your favourite podcast provider today.
Hi, it's Doug the Tradie. If you're a tradie like me, you need the correct insurance. It's easy with IMAR. They offer competitive premiums, instant cover and no paperwork. Go online, get an instant quote and pay the premium or call an expert now on 13IMAR. You'll be covered in a few simple steps and ready to get on with the job. Visit imar.com.au today or call 13IMAR and get a quote, get covered, get working.
You're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
The Sounding Board with Craig Hutchison and Damien Barrett. It's sport, it's the media, it's talking about the issues that matter.
Tony Abbott chimed in and said he'd, quote unquote, never leaked details of cabinet discussions to News Corp. So there's some funny things there to unpack, don't I?
Never again, Tony.
He could have said anything other than I didn't leak. And people would have believed it. Here's the thing about leaking. Half the time people leak, they don't actually realise they're leaking. They don't have the self-identification that they have just said something they shouldn't have said. Can they be trusted? When you bring that many tennis players in who are that answerable to themselves generally and respectfully speaking, a relatively selfish sport.
Absolutely they are.
How do you trust that they will live to the conforms of our community the entire time they're here? Like, it's one thing to put AFL players in a hub. It's another thing to put freewheeling, high-rolling tennis players.
For Drinkwise, stay safe, and if you're choosing to drink, please drink wise. The Sounding Board with Hutchie and Damo. Subscribe and listen today wherever you get your podcasts.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
Hey, it's Matt McKeldin.
And I'm Steve Johnson.
And we're the hosts of The Driver's Seat, Australia's #1 motorsport radio show.
Each week we go through all the big news stories and chat to some of the biggest names in supercars.
Here with Mark Winterbottom.
We're pumped, ready to go.
Davey Reynolds here.
Got a Sonic the Hedgehog bone cover. It's mad, eh?
Jamie Whincup. Welcome back to The Driver's Seat.
Feels good. Feels good to be back.
Plus, you can catch up and get all the exclusive interviews first on the Driver's Seat app.
Get radio's #1 motorsport show on your smartphone. Thanks to Kubota, building Australia.
Real Adventures with Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Everything fishing, boating and outdoors.
But for most people, fishing is it's a pastime, mate. I'm going to go out for a fish. I just need to relax a bit. You get to relax every day. You've got the easiest job in the world.
Don't you just run around an oval and kick a ball?
Off the side of it sometimes.
It's a love-hate relationship, to tell you the honest truth.
Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Subscribe and listen today wherever you get your podcasts.
SEN Track is the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing. And each Saturday, you're invited to join the Saturday Trackside team. Be part of the banter, the fun and the expert analysis. And of course, there's plenty of tasty horse racing tips.
Get your pens, pencils, crayons and have your form guides be ready.
With Simon O'Donnell, David Taggart and the Saturday Trackside team. Listen via the SEN app and follow the tips via Twitter at SEN_track. Saturday Trackside, this Saturday from midday on SEN Track. The new sound of chasing, pacing and racing. racing.
Red Energy is 100% owned by the mighty Snowy Hydro, and that makes us as Aussie as a barbie at Eastern Beach. We're based right here in Victoria and have been providing electricity and gas to tens of thousands of homes in Geelong for years. So if you want an energy company that's 100% Australian owned, supports Aussie jobs and is committed to supporting the economy, call our Victorian-based contact centre on 131 806 to make the switch today.
You're listening to Big Bash Nation.
Following to Jason Roy. Flights one up and down the ground. It'll beat mid-off. And there is a boundary off the bat. Maxwell the dive to his right-hand side. You know if he can't get it, it's hit with some kind of power. Zampa to Roy. Now he's reverse sweeping. Oh, and that's brilliant. Got it fine. Past Stan Lake and to the rope. Consecutive boundaries for Jason Roy. Got to look about him. Again, he fancies Zampa down the ground, and this time he'll get the full amount. First 6 of the evening. And it comes off the bat of Jason Roy. He's 21 off 11. Yes, down the ground. Maxwell, one hand almost to it.
He took it on.
He takes on Maxwell, and he lives to tell the tale. A boundary off the last ball. Oh, full toss. Straight back over the bowler's head, and you won't get that at long on Hinchcliffe. Clinton Hinchcliffe was down at long on, but that was hit with some authority. Khan to Roy. Oh, that's spooned up, but it's got enough on it. It'll get over Maxwell's head, and it gets to the boundary as well. So, again, back-to-back boundaries for Jason Roy. Hinchcliffe to Roy. Full toss straight back at him, and the umpire has to get out of the way. And that ball goes on its way straight down to the road.
Last year he got hit 2 and 2 balls.
He did, didn't he?
Well, that's funny to say it, but...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep, well, I didn't mean that.
I know you didn't, which is what makes it very funny.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. I know, very immature of me. You'd think at 40 years old that I'd be able to just... Through square leg, a boundary. Now Roy finally gets some strike. There's Zampa, and he's down on one knee and cutting. That's a shot. More of a back foot cover drive, and that'll get the rope. Down the ground, Livingston goes straight to the fieldsman. Maddinson takes the catch at deep mid-off, and an often uncomfortable and awkward Livingston knock comes to an end. 24 off 28. Oh, down the ground. Now this has gone very high. Maxwell's going to come around here. Will he get to it? He does. Coming back with the flight, the big show, the big moment, the big wicket. Roy gone for 54 and Coulter-Nile strikes. He's bowling to the left-hander. Munro, who takes him down the ground. A little skip down the pitch, and he sends Stan Lake back on his way into the boundary again. There we go, just some of the many highlights. It was an entertaining Scorchers innings, 182 on the board. They only lost the 4 wickets, and they were flying when they got started to 42 in the power play for Tyre Power. Know your tyres. The handbrake was applied, maybe not in terms of wickets taken, but certainly of runs scored through those middle overs. And then late in the innings, they got some valuable runs to finish up at 4 for 182. 83 for the first wicket for Livingston and Roy. Livingston went 24 off 29. Caught Maddinson, bowled Khan. Roy in the 11th over after Livingston went in the 10th was caught Maxwell running down the ground with the flight of the ball and took a ripping catch off the bowling of Nathan Coulter-Nile. 54 off 32 for Jason Roy. Josh Inglis was caught, Gotch bowled Stoinis for 26 off 16. Mitch Marsh was caught, Maxwell bowled Zampa 5 off 4 for him. And Colin Munro, 46 not out from 30 deliveries. And Ashton Turner, a strike rate of 200 for his 18 runs off 9 deliveries. The wicket takers, 1 apiece for the Stars for Zahir Khan, Adam Zampa, Nathan Coulter-Nile and Marcus Stoinis as well. So that's the situation we find ourselves in at the halfway mark of this game. 185 needed to win. 183, to win for the Melbourne Stars. And if they are to win this game, that will get them up. If they get the full 4 points, they will be in third position. If the Scorchers get all 4, they will go to the top of the Big Bash table, overtaking the Sydney Sixers, who lost to the Thunder last night. So the Bash boost point needed is 86 at the end of 10 overs. And we are in the beer drinks break for Bundaberg Ginger Beer, the great Australian brew. So, Bryce McGain, those are the numbers that matter. Can you give us the play of the day so far for Drinkwise? You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise. Apart from your little gaff in the first innings.
No, that's definitely...
When Liam Livingstone was just struck in the area that he continually seems to get struck in, which is not a pleasant one for anyone, really. But what did you think was the play of the day?
I think the play of the day... and as much to the dismay of our text message machine, who was getting a little frustrated that we were enjoying Glenn Maxwell in the field, the catch that he took, the play of the day, was him running back to take the catch from mid-off, running back to the rope and catching it at long off. Was a superb piece of work. That was Jason Roy, and the very dangerous Jason Roy, out for 54. That catch is definitely the play of the day so far.
Leading wicket taker of the first innings, as we said, well, there's no leading wicket taker. Singles to the men I mentioned earlier for Henley Holmes. Transparent pricing, no spin. The leading run scorer of the first innings, as we just heard before, was the Englishman Jason Roy, who only found out a couple of days ago that he was not going to be retained by the Delhi Capitals. He actually opted out of the 2020 season. He was replaced in their side by Daniel Sams. They still had the rights to him, and they released him. So after a bit of a disappointing last couple of days, he's put 54 on the board, 32 deliveries, 7 boundaries, 1-6. Henley Holmes batting for first home buyers since 1989. The Macca's moment of the first half, Bryce, the new crispy barbecue McOz and Aussie Angus burger have arrived at Macca's.
Yeah, the Macca's moment, if I can plug them together, was the ability of the Perth Scorchers to play the power play, which was none for 42. They're going at 10.5 and over in the first 4 overs. Then their power surge, 28 runs off there at 14. So the Macca's moment are those two aspects when they had the field restrictions up. They took advantage of it. It was really, really important.
No, that's a fantastic Macca's moment. So I'll need to know from you now, defending 182, the Scorchers, chasing 183, the Stars. A lot on the line for both sides. Ladder positions, it's continually jostling. Every game changes the pecking order at this stage of the season. It's just going to be an enthralling finish to the BBL season. Who needs to be switched on from the batting point of view for Fujitsu, Australia's favourite air?
Well, I think in these moments where it is the big game and it's the big occasion, your captain needs to stand up. And I think it's Glenn Maxwell. He'll play in that pivot position at number 4. And he'll adapt to however the game is situated. If they get off to a flyer, then he'll come in and time things. If they lose a couple of early wickets trying to set something up and chase this big total, then he'll need to resurrect things as well. It's so important that he's switched on.
And Seb Gotch has been named to open. So he's only had the 4 innings this year, averaging 9.5.
Completely different role, though, isn't it?
Just the 19 runs for him so far, because Andre Fletcher, of course, injured in the last game, won't take any further part in this season. He's heading off to the UAE for a T10 competition. So it's a big opportunity for Seb Gotch at the top of the order. And Marcus Stoinis, of course, in ripping form, 5th most runs coming into this game, 370 for the year, leapfrogged by Colin Munro, who's gone to 3rd. So that would probably push him down to 6th. Munro now, after his knock, is the 3rd highest run scorer in this BBL season. So what about from a bowling point of view? We know just how potent this bowling attack is. It relies more on the pace with Richardson, Berendorf, Ty, Marsh as well, Aaron Hardy bowls as well. And then Fawad Ahmed got 3 wickets 2 games ago, over 70 BBL wickets for him. Who needs to be the main man and switched on for Fujitsu? Experienced year-round comfort with Fujitsu, Australia's favourite air.
Yeah, for me, that's Andrew Ty. He's just coming back into some good bowling form. He had 2 for 12 against the Heat, 1 for 32 against the Hurricanes, and in the most recent bowling performances. So he's had a bit of a mixed bag. He's took 4 wickets earlier on against the Sixers, against the top side at the time, 4 for 20. So against the very best is when he steps up. So look for Andrew Ty to be completely switched on here and be right up for the contest.
So we spoke to Jason Berendorf earlier, who's having a really economical year as well. 6.8 his economy, 8th best in the competition coming into this game. This is an interesting one off the text. You've been accused of, and I just can't quite see the name at the moment to read this one out, but just off the text, OMG, Bryce, you continually bag the umpires. Try your hand at a champ, so you've been champed, and let's see how you go. I don't remember you bagging an umpire.
I can't recall doing it. Maybe some further detail, further evidence, please, Your Honour. Yeah, look, I was actually umpiring today, so I do give it a go.
Is there evidence of that?
I appreciate it, champ. If you have a look at Twitter, you'll see me walking out and doing umpiring. So
a return fire champing. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, so I'm well aware of how difficult the job is. I'll call as I see them. If they make a mistake, well, that's what happened, and I'll point that out. But I'm not here to bag umpires not in the least.
That's a tough job. But somebody's got to do it. So here we go. Bryce McGowan here for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money online with their app. Stoinis to face the first ball. It'll be the leading wicket taker in BBL 10. 25 poles for Jai Richardson. I think I've called him Jason a couple of times. He's a couple of commentary boxes over. Jai Richardson, I was speaking to him earlier.
Richo.
Jai Richardson in to Marcus Stoinis, and he's working one off the hip. And there'll be a single to fine leg to open the account for the Stars. A single. And that brings Seb Gotch on strike. Just a top score of 11 this year.
Yeah, completely different role, though. So he's been down the lower order, trying to get quick runs. Would be the scenario that he's come into bat. Now he's at the top of the order. Creative player, 360-degree player, and a little pocket dynamo. He's pretty powerful.
Yep.
All round the ground.
I'll just get his career numbers up. Un moment. Richardson charges in to Gotch, and he's up on his toes, defending into the leg side, and they run one. So he gets off strike and gets some runs on the board. So 343 career runs now, a highest score of 48 in his 38 matches, and an average of 17.1. So
what's that strike rate?
Strike rate 103.
Okay. And it's probably got to do just with the scenarios he comes in. He's just got to try and clear the pickets, batting down the order.
Richardson to Stoinis. None for two, the Stars. That's going to be a wide down leg side, a bumper.
Good keeping to go get that.
Oh, yeah, well taken. Josh Inglis.
Yeah.
Of course, WA's Sheffield Shield keeper.
You got a little barb about that yesterday, didn't you?
I did. It's just one of those things where you knew the answer to, but I just couldn't find the information, and I incorrectly said something about Josh Philippi that...
A bit like me in the pre-game. Couldn't think of Neil McKenzie's name.
Yep.
It was added in by the...
We have those moments, and we love the fact that they're pointed out very quickly to us off the Big Bash Nation text line, 0433 98 11 16. Richardson to Stoinis, and he's back defending, and they'll take that single to a vacant mid-wicket again. Oh, and almost overthrows there.
Very eager was Andrew Ty.
He was.
I said he needed to be switched on.
Marsh has given him, all in good fun, a bit of a spray because he had to dive for that after it came off the glove of Josh Inglis. None for four now, the Stars.
It was Ty, wasn't it? He said he needed to be switched on. You probably heard.
So Richardson in. Gotch on strike. Again, just turning one off the hip. Through that mid-wicket region, Andrew Ty called upon again. Let's check this return. Oh, that's very sharp. Just at a chest height for Inglis. And he gets the clap from Mish Marsh. It was as sarcastic as it comes.
That's better, AJ. Over the top.
So they've got to slip in. There's a point. Fine leg on the fence. There's a backward point, a point. A mid-off. Fine leg up. Mid-wicket, mid-on, back defending to the bowler. Tight lines from Richardson. And that's the end of the over. One more to come. One more to come. One more to come. So none for five so far. Tidy start. First over the power play for Tyre Power. Know your tyres. The first over for the Scorchers only netted 3 runs for them. So they're ahead of the ledger at the moment, the Stars.
I think things go pear-shaped pretty quickly in that power play at the beginning.
If overs were rounds, they're ahead on points at the minute. Oh, there's a lusty blow. Almost nonchalant was the pull shot, but such was the power it was hit with and the timing that it goes all the way over the fence into the crowd for a full amount. 6. That's a good way to finish the over. 11 off it. The first 6 from the batter, Stoinis. He's on 8. Gotch on 2. After 1, the Stars chasing 183. None for 11.
IMAR. We all know they're the tradies' mates when it comes to business insurance. But did you know that IMAR has window cleaners covered too? Insure your window cleaning business with IMAR and receive commercial and industrial cover for 2-story, 5-story and no height restrictions. Plus, receive competitive monthly premiums at no additional cost. Just a simple phone call and we'll get you covered too. Call 13IMAR now. That's 134627.
They're the tradies, mate. That's IMAR.
None for 11 off the first over. Berendorf will bowl the second off the text. Darryl says, as a Star supporter, I give us zero chance of making this.
Wow.
Zero chance.
Well, what about now? 11 off the first over?
You're 8 runs ahead of the ledger.
Got to be in with a fighting chance now. Just 172 to get now.
So Berendorf left arm over to Gotch, and he's back late cutting straight to backward point, though. Geez, that rocketed off the face of the bat.
That's his spot.
No run.
Yeah, pull and cut. Obviously, he's a shorter player. He's plenty of balls to be able to do that.
So Jason Berendorf, 11 wickets, 12 games this year, 6.8 that economy, a best of 2 for 17. And you said in the chat we had with him a little earlier that he probably hasn't got the reward for effort. Oh, the attempted little ramp. Did he get a little nibble on that? He backed away into the offside, opened the face of the bat up to do the little lifter. It'll get to the boundary for TAC. And what's the call? I heard a noise.
Yeah, it was a bit of glove, a bit of action there. And that seemed a long, long way, in actual fact, away from the right-hander. He's done so well to noodle that around fine.
It's just missed taking leg stump. Just wide and maybe just over the top of it.
He's got his iron from keeping. It does help when you wicket keep the first session.
Boundary TAC. Oh, cut shot. Spectacular effort to catch that from Turner. It gets to the boundary, but oh so close from snaring. A rip snorter was Roy, I should say. He leapt at that full stretch and it just evades the fingertips. Back-to-back boundaries for Gotch, who's living dangerously, but he's 10 off 5. The Stars are none for 19 halfway through the second over.
And he's difficult to bowl to, particularly as a tall player. Generally, the top of off is where you want to be. He's cutting that. Such is his skill.
Berendorf to Gotch. He's just back on his toes, defending square on the offside. Roy collects, and a big looping underarm return to mid-on. And they get no run. None for 19. Of course, Rookie of the Night's very hard to pick, given we don't have any... I don't think we've got any first-year players in the attack. Just have a look down those team sheets and let me know who might be in contention for our Rookie of the Night for MEGT, local apprenticeship experts. Defending again, back to the bowler, just dropping it in front of him was Gotch. No run.
Aaron Hardy?
Did he play some games last year? But he might be the only one that qualifies or even close to qualifying.
Yeah.
A couple of experienced outfits.
That's why they're right up there in the pointy end. Experience does pay off in Big Bash cricket.
MEGT, local apprenticeship experts, call 13 MEGT today. Berendorf to Gotch, trying to turn it off the hip, and it just drops into the onside square. And there is no run. Stoinis wants someone to come out and help him with something. So after 2, 19 runs on the board. At the same stage, the Scorchers were none for 12. Stars, none for 19 after 2. Nige, could you just fix up that Google Doc for me, mate, so I can see all the credits? Can't really do it from where I am.
Real adventures with Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Everything fishing, boating and outdoors.
But for most people, fishing is a pastime, mate. I'm going to go out for a fish. I just need to relax a bit. You get to relax every day. You've got the easiest job in the world.
Don't you just run around an oval and kick a ball?
Off the side of beat sometimes.
it's a love-hate relationship, to tell you the honest truth.
Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Subscribe and listen today wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the MCG. 2 overs down in this run chase. None for 19. The Stars, they need 183 for victory. Richardson continuing to Stoinis, full defensive face of the bat shown, and back to the bowler for no run. Apologies that we thought we'd gone to the ad break there. We were just getting our machine fixed. So you got a little glimpse into the inner workings of the commentary box. Behind the scenes and how it all works. A man back in the studio with Surge behind us, who's loving every time we say Power Surge. Feels very good about himself. Richardson into Stoinis. Again, defensive. There's a man at a very short mid-wicket, only a few metres from the pitch. So would you call that a close mid-on? Because there is a mid-on. They've got Turner for Stoinis at a very close. Now they're pushing him back a bit. So mid-on is just on the ring, which is tie.
It's interesting you say that. You'd call it a mid-wicket. You would.
Now he's gone a bit wider.
He's about
now,
level with the stumps at the bowler's end. Yeah.
Now has gone a bit wider. Richardson to Stoinis. He's driving straight. But there is that mid-on. They get no run.
Well, it's big. It's big.
Oh, it's an overthrow. So the return from Ty. Is that the second time that he's overthrown the keeper? It is.
He's jacked up. He is pumped up. His arm's too strong. Throwing it from mid-on to the keeper, and
they got an overthrow. So none for 20 now, halfway through the third over. Gotch's 10 off 8, Stoinis 9 off 7. So this was a big over for the Scorchers. They took Zampa for 19 in this corresponding over. Just the one off this one so far for the Stars. Richardson in, just dropping it into the offside. He gets it past backward point. Does Gotch and slips over the non-striker's end, so it will only be one. Even if they wanted to, he was in no fit state to do it.
Flat out on the ground. He skidded there. And just to the west side of the pitch here, one side of the pitch is where the other wickets are. They're all dropping wickets. He's running on basically a bit of fresh turf out there. Might be a little bit slippery. Bit of the outfield, really, next to the pitch.
So Richardson to Stoinis, driving back past the bowler, almost got a hand to it. That's very straight. Will they get this in? Ty can't run it down. Stoinis finds the boundary, straight back past the bowler for 4. For TAC, catching you before your Lutz run out. TAC, none for 25 with the ball to come in the third, the Stars.
It's a beautiful straight drive. It was a bit of a change-up by Richardson, and just waiting on that with Stoinis. Played it straight down past the stumps, the non-striker's end, and valiant chase by Ty. Couldn't get there.
Last ball, the Richardson over. Stoinis again driving, full face to the bat. This one will go straight to Ty. Mid-on, rocketed it back at the stumps, non-striker's end. Can't collect the poles. Stoinis home safe. A single to finish off the over. They took 7 from it in the end. 3 overs down, the Stars chasing 183. They're none for 26.
Red Energy is 100% owned by the mighty Snowy Hydro, and that makes us as Aussie as a barbie at Eastern Beach. We're based right here in Victoria and have been providing electricity and gas to tens of thousands of homes in Geelong for years. So if you want an energy company that's 100% Australian owned, supports Aussie jobs and is committed to supporting the economy, call our Victorian-based contact centre on 131 806 to make the switch today.
So I'm just having a look through the Bushnells, and Marcus Stoinis has his pants down and his shirt in a crop top situation.
That's unusual.
Changing his thigh pad.
Maybe it's not so unusual. He might have broken a strap on the thigh pad.
Now he's all tucked in and correct and fully clothed again.
Probably one of the things as a cricketer you don't have a spare set of. Maybe he does.
Should we put out a modesty blind in that situation?
Not for the Stoin. No.
You just get the feeling he'd love to be able to take that shirt off fully.
Yeah, I'm sweating out here.
Yeah.
I'll have to take this shirt off.
I'll need to change shirts, please. So none for 26. It'll be Berendorf to continue.
Just taking his time now, just marking guard, setting himself up, not being rushed. He's got an important role to play tonight in setting up this run chase. It's a big total they're getting down.
He's on 14 off 9. Gotch's at the other end, 11 off 9. And Berendorf left arm over to the right hand of Stoinis, working at the mid-wicket.
And
no run.
Interestingly for Berendorf, there's a long on in place and a deep square leg. They're the two fielders that are out. So,
question off the text for us, Bryce, is the Stars import spinner, which I'm assuming you're referring to Zahir Khan.
Yep. Is
he a first-year player? No, he's not.
No.
He has played before. He's into his 16th game now. He played in BBL 9. We'll get back to that in just a minute. Berendorf to Stoinis down the ground. Well, he couldn't have picked out long on any better. Jumping up to take the catch is Ty, and that is a massive, massive dent in the chances of the Melbourne Stars. Marcus Stoinis has gone for 14. Has had a bit of an all-sorts game in the field as Ty. Berendorf gets his 12th wicket for the year.
I can't believe he's just done that. He spooned it there, got deceived. And my question was, well, why is he there for Berendorf if he's going to hit the wicket? That's exactly why he was there. He didn't do it first ball, then the change of pace. And Stoinis just went through with the shot, got deceived, and it went straight to the long on. That is tremendous planning by the Perth Scorchers. Berendorf executed beautifully. Turner set at the trap. Probably spoken about earlier, knowing that Stoinis can be deceived with that slower ball. They've set it up wonderfully.
So New South Wales is Sheffield Shield opener Nick Larkin, who's coming off a 61 not out of 47 balls in the loss to the Renegades. His 10th game this year is 194 runs at an average of 38, strike rate of 124, and he was instrumental in getting them into that BBL 9 final last year. Four first-class centuries to his name. It'll be Gotch on strike as they crossed. He's defending straight to cover, no run.
And you mentioned Zahir Khan. He was with the Brisbane Heat.
Yes, he was. Yeah. We were going to get back to that, weren't we? Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's right. We're busy seeing Stoinis go out at quarter long on off Berendorf.
That's why you're our expert for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. See money online with their app. Bryce McGain, Sam Hargraves here this evening.
Scorchers looking to push this run rate required up over 10 as quick as they can.
Off the hip, straight to mid-wicket from Gotch. Again, no run. So wickets and dot balls just doing a job at the moment. Berendorf 137 clicks. So the Bash Brews point, they need 60 runs off 38 balls. The Stars, every point on offer they need. They're in 5th spot at the moment. The Heat went above them with their win over the Renegades today. So they're just clinging on to a final spot at the minute. And the Scorchers are eyeing off top spot. Berendorf cutting late. Bounced it right down hard into the pitch. And a jumping Roy is able to collect it at backward point. No run.
Gotch is definitely looking for that zone through the point area. The fielders on the offside are all up inside the circle. There's a fine leg and a deep square leg. And a ring of fielders on that offside. So he's looking to pierce it through, knowing full well as soon as it gets past them, it's 4.
Berendorf, he opened the face of the bat and just tried to feather that through the cordon, but there is a very short third man, and that is the end of an over. So it's a wicket ball.
Maiden.
A wicket maiden, like rocking horse, you know what. They are that rare. You got to celebrate them when you see them. 4 down, the power play done and dusted. 26 runs came from it. The loss of 1 wicket, 1 for 26, the Stars.
Real adventures with Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Everything fishing, boating and outdoors.
But for most people, fishing is it's a pastime, mate. I'm going to go out for a fish. I just need to relax a bit. You get to relax every day. You've got the easiest job in the world.
Don't you just run around an oval and kick a ball?
Off the side of it sometimes.
it's a love-hate relationship, to tell you the honest truth.
Patrick Dangerfield and Aaron Hapgood. Subscribe and listen today wherever you get your podcasts.
So Nick Larkin will face Aaron Hardy, or AA Ron, as we like to call him, with our salute to Key and Peel.
One of our favourites. He's a young man going places.
Larkin's nickname is Chompers, we're told. Just had a look at the screen there, some information of him up. He's tucking one square on the leg side in front of the square leg umpire, gets off the mark with a single. The nickname of Chompers, and his hidden talent is that he can juggle.
Okay.
He says his most annoying teammate is the man he's out there batting with, Seb Gotch, who he says has little man syndrome.
That's what he's got.
As someone who has suffered from that affliction for most of my life, I can sympathise with that. Hardy to Gotch. He wanted that little ramp. He wanted to flick it over the right shoulder. Inside-out style ramp over the keeper's head. Couldn't connect. Through to English, no run.
Certainly a gap straight behind the wicket-keeper. There is a fine leg that is very fine. They know that he can ramp. So that's why they have that fine leg very fine there, to see if he can hit the ball in front of square. They want him to do that.
7 wickets for Hardy this year. He's bowling to Gotch. Big leading edge. It spoons out over cover. It'll land safely, but a heart-in-mouth moment for the Stars keeper. He moves to 12 off 15, 1 for 28. Larkin 1 off 1. And Hardy continuing to put his hand up for maybe a Rookie of the Year for MEGT, your local apprenticeship experts. And with no Cam Green, who won't come back in and play for the Scorchers, he gets a chance to finish out the year as that bowling all-rounder. Driving through cover, got it pretty square, past point in the end from Larkin for a single. So that'll fill him with a bit of confidence. I mean, he would have been in the back of his mind that maybe Cameron Green comes back for the Scorchers.
Oh, no doubt. And look,
he probably would have been the one to go.
They're terrific mates. They've played together, the same age. They've come through all the underage together. They're ripping mates.
They are.
So he wouldn't have had his nose out of joint at all, but certainly with Cameron Green, bit of a loss for the Scorchers.
Hardy to Gotch. Oh, well saved. Diving to his left. Brilliant work from Roy at point. Saved a certain boundary.
And again, Gotch going to that area that's at the stumps, at the off stump, and he's looking to work that behind point. That's how to support your teammates. Supporting them in the field. He batted well tonight.
Yeah, they're bringing third man up into the ring because I know he's eyeing off that area, as you've said, Bryce. Hardy to Gotch, this time down the ground, just clipping it. Probably more through mid-wicket than mid-on in the end, and they get one. So they're really applied a strong handbrake early. Run rate has just been 3.37 in the last 3 overs. After 5, the Stars just in a bit of bother at the moment, 1 for 30.
If you love racing, you'll love SEN Track. Start your day with us, Ian Healy and Pat Welsh, and catch up on all the latest in chasing, pacing and racing. Join us on SEN Track Ingham 96.1 FM, Atherton 99.1 FM, and the all-new Gold Coast 1620 AM, and Brisbane 1053 AM.
It's the new sound of chasing, pacing and racing.
Join in all the fun on SEN Track.
SEN Track.
Also available on the SEN app.
1 for 30 after 5. They need another 56 runs to get the bash boost point, the Stars. And this will be a little concern at the minute.
Berendorf round the wicket.
Run rate of just 6. Berendorf bowling to Gotch, who came down a long way to defend that ball. He had to scurry back as Berendorf shaped to throw down the stumps. Followed through a long way.
Well, the Scorchers have had enough of him trying to play behind point. The big left armour is going to go around the wicket and cramp him up for room, which is exactly what he did there. Gotch was looking to get busy and change the length. It's a good battle out here. Berendorf is at the top of his game. Wicket maiden the last over. Picked up Stoinis.
Berendorf around the wicket. That's pulled brilliantly behind square. That'll get there from Gotch. Waited on it and just nursed it on its way. Used the pace of Berendorf and found the rope.
Boy, they needed that one.
Yep.
They've been starved of boundaries the last couple of overs. And he's back into the rhythm of the night. There's
a song reference.
Gotch.
Who was that song? This is the rhythm of the night. Corona.
Topical.
Thanks,
very
guys,
topical.
Back in the studio. Oh, it is too. Goodness me, we can't be giving that. That wouldn't have been on a single playlist all year, that song, given where we've been and what's been going on. Advancing is Gotch, and there's runs through cover. He'll come back. No, sent back. Oh, he slipped. He's going to be out of the non-strikers end. He dives back. He slipped over. His bat might have been in the air. This is a calamity for the Stars if he's out. He looks unsure. He's waving to the dugout. Might have busted a glove, I'm not sure.
He's just got him dirty. He slid them on the ground, but he's tried to slam dunk the bat in here.
It's the second time he's slipped over now. His bat might have been in the air. It was grounded out of the crease. If it's in the air when the bails are off, this is going to be very, very tight. The third umpire, catchbizcover.com.au and BizSave on your business insurance. How are you seeing it?
Oh, I see it as out.
Oh, now, did it get down?
No, he's out there. The stump's a hit there. It's unfortunate. They've just tried a different camera angle on a different frame. And
that's the second time Gotcha slipped over, turning for a second run. It didn't cost the first time, but it has on the second. It was a late send-back from Larkin.
Yeah, I reckon there was actually two in it.
And that's out. The replay for Rapidtune will keep you moving. Third umpire for BizCover. Catch bizcover.com.au and BizSave on your business insurance. Seb Gotch is out for 17 off 20 deliveries. Been run out by Colin Munro after slipping at the non-striker's end. Sent back and couldn't get home. 2 for 34 with 3 balls to come.
Huge moment, Sam. I reckon there was two there. Larkin just needed to be in and out quickly. Munro hadn't picked the ball up at that point when they'd both touched in. So there's definitely one on the arm to the deep boundary. Does bring in the main man for the Melbourne Stars, and that's Glenn Maxwell.
And you heard the appreciation for the crowd that they hold this man in.
They love him, we love him. Someone on the text doesn't. Maybe we're a bit over the top with our love for him.
So he's on strike now, 4th all-time on the BBL run scorers list, and he's running one.
Larkin.
It was Larkin, I should say. They did cross at the non-striker's end, so it was Larkin on strike. And he gets a single to bring Maxwell on strike now. Just got to keep the Bushnells up to the eyes. Bryce. So Larkin 3 to run a ball, 2 for 36. So 50 runs off 26 to get the bash boost point. So essentially 2 a ball. And then Maxwell, 2,139 BBL runs. Still hasn't got that elusive century, but 4th all-time. Fair off Maxwell driving, not fully connecting. And there's no run to cover.
Yeah, there are times when Glenn Maxwell just starts playing a different game to everyone else. It all becomes very easy when you see him in full flight. And the Melbourne Stars desperately need that tonight. At 2 for 36, heading towards the end of the 6th over.
So they've got the Sixers to finish off their season on Tuesday. In the doubleheader that'll be here on Boxing Day at the MCG. Behrendorff. Oh, Maxwell just tried to run it down to third man and almost edged it to Inglis. Didn't connect. So a dot ball to finish up. Behrendorff bowling very, very tidy spell. He's got figures of 1 for 14 after 3. 6 overs down. They need 183. They've got 2 for 36, the Stars.
It's Matt McKeldin.
And I'm Steve Johnson.
And we're the hosts of The Driver's Seat, Australia's #1 motorsport radio show.
Each week we go through all the big news stories and chat to some of the biggest names in supercars.
Here with Mark Winterbottom.
We're pumped, ready to go.
Davey Reynolds here.
Got a Sonic the Hedgehog phone cover. It's mad as.
Jamie Whincup, welcome back to The Driver's Seat.
Feels good. Feels good to be back.
Plus, you can catch up and get all the exclusive interviews first on the Driver's Seat app.
Get radio's #1 motorsport show on your smartphone. Thanks to Kubota, building Australia.
Sam Hargraves, Bryce McGain with you for Western Union. Another fast delivery by Western Union. Send money online with their app. AJ Ty into the attack now. Two for 36. The Stars in a spot of bother. After Gotch pretty much ran himself out. Slipped at a crucial time after being sent back. Larkin on strike. The Ty shorter ball and he's jumping up to try and cut that. Didn't connect. Dot ball.
Well, Andrew Ty blowing out all the cobwebs there. First ball bumper. Means business tonight. He can really get the ball through too. He can be a 140 bowler. Tough customer. We know him better for his slower balls and tricks and knuckle balls and all those type of things. But as a genuine bowler, he can get the pace right up there.
13 wickets for the year. Again, this time wanting to drive it through cover was Larkin. Swing and a miss. So play and miss the last 2 opening dot balls in succession for Ty. 13 wickets for the year for Dulux. Professional painters choose Dulux.
And I think it's as simple as that in these first 6 overs and a couple of balls. There have just been too many dot balls from a Stars point of view. They don't have to hit everything for boundaries and all that, but you just got to keep rotating the strike to run every ball.
Tyler Larkin, 2 for 36, the Stars. This time there's bat on that. But straight. Misfield, that's going to go for 4. Oh, Jai Richardson will not want to see that rapid tune replay. Will keep you moving. The misfield kept the ball moving. And they get a boundary for TAC, catching you before your luck's all out. TAC, there's nowhere to hide there, is there?
Oh, not at all. Down at Bay 13 as well. Not quite as packed as we would normally have down there, but he just made a meal of it as he reached down and then it just stepped over.